You wrote Apocalypse and Extinction. What else, as a filmmaker, made you want to come back to the director's seat for number 4?
A couple of things. I mean, one is making Resident Evil was one of the most fun experiences of my film directing career, and I missed directing Resident Evil movies, so I wanted to have that experience again. And the other is I felt if we were going to make another movie, I wanted the franchise I wanted to make a conceptual jump. I wanted it to become a bigger and better movie. I wanted to make the best ever Resident Evil. And the 3D is part of that, but also I persuaded the studio to give us more money than ever so that we can make it a really globe-trotting movie. So we shot in Tokyo, we shot in Alaska on these amazing glaciers, we shot in Hollywood, we shot in Long Beach, we shot in Canada. I mean, we really made it an epic film, and I felt I was the filmmaker who was best suited to try and bring that to screen.
Great. Next question?
Hi, Bob Cecil. You know, I've seen more zombies at Comic-Con this year than any other year previously. Now, this is the 4th installment of the Resident Evil series. Do you think that zombies will officially be like the next Draculas, or what?
Who's that question for?
Everybody.
Paul? Man, there's a lot of zombies, in Hollywood, that's for sure. Anyway, but I don't know. I mean, zombies are zombies. The thing that's amazing to me about zombies is that they go back thousands of years in folklore. Like in the African culture, like the zombie, the person coming back from the dead, it's such an innate kind of fear that we all have that's almost biological in a sense, that fear of getting buried alive, that fear of someone you love coming back, or that fear just, it's so kind of innately bred in us for thousands and thousands of years that I think zombies are going to be around today, yesterday, and thousands of years from now.
Great. Okay, you're next.
My question is for Paul. In the first 2 movies, you based it pretty much on the game and stuff. In the 3rd movie, you went in a different direction. And what's making you in the 4th movie use elements from Resident Evil 5, like the execution?
I played Resident Evil 5 and I just loved the game. I thought it was fantastic, and I loved the creatures in the game, and I loved the imagery from the game, and I was just very inspired by it. So I was very inspired to kind of take the Executioner, to take the undead dogs, which I thought was a fantastic reuse of the dogs. They were a favorite from the movie franchise, but I was thinking, 4th time around, how on earth can we make them different? And then I played Resident Evil 5, and their heads opened up. And I'm like, wow, that's so cool, that's got to be in the film. And also, Resident Evil 5, the game, had Wesker in it, who I think is some people's favorite character from the series of video games. So it was perfect to kind of introduce him into the movie franchise and really give him a very substantial role. And also some of the fight choreography I thought was fantastic from the game. There's one fight in particular which features Wesker and Chris and another female character from the game, but we kind of recreated it with Wesker and Chris and Claire in the movie, almost shot for shot, because I just thought it was the coolest action choreography I'd seen in a long time.
Sick. It looks sick.
Wentworth, had you played the game before? You got the job? No?
My parents put an emphasis on homework, so there wasn't a whole lot of comic books or video games in my house, so I had to educate myself really quickly.
You were deprived.
What's that?
You were deprived as a child. You were deprived as a child in that video game.
Deprived, yeah. I'm making up for it now.
Yes, indeed.
What's your next question?
I heard a rumor that Jill Valentine is returning to the franchise. Is there a possibility of Leon Kennedy?
Don't look at me.
Well, Leon is one of my favorite characters from the video games, and we had a debate as to whether he should actually be in this movie or not. We decided against it. but he's definitely, touch wood, if we were ever to make another movie, I think he'd be a character we'd very seriously consider bringing into the franchise. And as for Jill Valentine, well, stay tuned.
Well, are there plans to make another film?
Sorry?
Are there plans to make another?
We always take it one movie at a time.
Yeah.
We really kind of put all of our efforts and into like making the best possible movie we can, and then kind of take it from there.
Gotcha. Next question.
Hi, how you doing? You guys did a ton of your own stunts in this movie, and I was wondering if there's any like crazy, you almost hurt yourself doing any of them, or any cool stories. And Mila, can you say multi-class?
Oh wow, that's been a long time. I would say it's more like, is there ever a stunt sequence that we don't get hurt? But we train very hard for these movies, and it has to be so well choreographed and so well timed so that we make it as safe as possible, because obviously every movie we are raising the bar with the stunts and the quality of the stunts, and of course, every time we go into it, we've had the training from the last movie, so we're always raising the level, but of course you need to make sure that safety is number one. Saying that, you see what's up there, you can't do that without getting hurt, but touch wood, like Paul said, nothing, no broken bones or anything, just really, really, really sore the next morning, and lots of bruising that has to be covered.
One of the interesting things about 3D...
Actually, Owie, you sprained your
finger.
sprained
I got a
your
little
finger.
too into one of the scenes. And yeah,
That was a disaster.
Yeah,
She had to go to
bad one.
the doctor.
Yeah.
Has to be the job.
One of the interesting things about 3D is that, the traditional way to block fights is, one actor moves their fist in front of another actor's face, and the second actor reacts as though they've been hit, and you line the camera up correctly, and, that person's fist comes within 6 inches of the other person's face. It's all fake. In 3D, because you have such a greater sense of depth, that doesn't work anymore. So it means you have to block fight scenes where people really get hit, which means there's a lot more physicality that goes into the fights, and the fights become a lot tougher in 3D. So like Mila said, the girls and boys were going home with a lot more bruises every day.